How do y'all intro it? Do y'all like do a song or something? Does Forrest give some poetry or something? You know,
the beatbox.
Is Forrest gonna give some poetry?
You know,
Can Forrest do a poetic intro?
No. Yeah.
No.
You know.
Okay. See now.
Now I gotta prepare something. See.
Yeah.
Damn.
See now we gotta.
Forrest does a poem. Lance does a verse. I'm gonna sit here and be like, yeah. We got it.
We gonna have the professional performer make us do something.
Oh.
Welcome to VASA Sports. I'm Lance Falatongo.
And I'm Forrest Odola.
And here we look at sports through a South Pacific lens. This episode, as always, sponsored by VASAislandapparel.com. For gear that represents the South Pacific Islands accurately and responsibly, put on for the culture, catch the wave at VASAislandapparel.com. And our guest today is a rapper and entrepreneur out of North Sacramento, California. The old soul with a cold flow. You've known him since he was pressing his own copies of Broken Record. Got you through quarantine with good company. Flew in this year on a Nimbus cloud with Well Wisher, hitting festivals and stages up the West Coast and more. Sacktown stand up. Sefa, welcome to the show.
Yo, that was probably the dopest introduction I've ever had before. That was I need a copy of that.
Yeah, we will send that to you.
Gee, who wrote y'all? Damn, okay.
Yeah, we do our own writing on here.
Hey, man.
People do research, man. That's what what I mean. We grown now. We research.
Hey, he hit me with the Nimbus cloud. I was like, okay.
I see. Hey, we see the cover art. We appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
We are excited to have someone of your caliber and stature here on the show with us. Someone that is a very good friend and just a real dude. And those are the kind of people we want to interview and talk to, so that people can kind of use your journey as a blueprint, so that they can uplift themselves and their communities. So we're really excited to have you on. And we're going to start by recapping a journey that you and Forrest recently took together.
Yeah.
Tacoma Polyfest 2021.
Mm-hmm.
You were performing?
Yeah, I kind of just inserted myself in that lineup.
Nice.
I was coming anyways. And I asked my homie DJ Lusco, Jesse and Victoria, they're the ones who put it together.
Shout out Dynasty.
Yeah, shout out to them. They always showing love. So I just told them I was coming, and then they were asking if I could perform. But then I had like a mix up with my passport, so I told them I wasn't sure. Last minute I got my passport, and then I said, "Oh yeah, I'm coming. Can I perform?" And they were like, "Man, it's too late." I was like, "Oh, it's understandable." I just wanted to be there. It looked like a dope event. And like the day before, they were like, "Hey, we got some time." I was like, "Oh yeah, let's do it." So I just did a few songs, last minute. That was my fault, but appreciate the opportunity. And I just wanted to be there. That's the only reason I actually went. I knew it was gonna be a bunch of our people and also a bunch of food. So I had to make my way over there. And I didn't regret it one bit,
Not at all. And we got to a tent. And Sefa was looking, and he said, "Oh, they take card? We're about to eat everything on this menu."
Hey, the whole time we was in line, I'm thinking, I only got $20 in my pocket. I'm like, yo, check this out. These nachos is $10, but like, I want more. I wanted the poke bowl and the nachos.
Yeah.
And then I was about to hit Forrest like, yo, bro, you cover me for the rest? As soon as I seen the card, I said, "Oh, get what you want. I'm cool. Yeah, I'm good."
He said, "Take my card."
Yeah, I was like, "Whatever you want, bro." So it was a good day.
It was cool, yeah, man. Everywhere we went, the buzz was real around Sefa. I mean, no joke too. I mean, people wanted to say hi to Sefa.
Nice.
People that Seth didn't know that heard his album. People off of Twitter. Seth was big on Twitter, so we had people from Twitter giving us free old tie. That was, it was real, man. It was real. His buzz was real out there.
They had a nice old type tent out there.
They had like 4.
Yeah, there was a bunch. But shout out to Nancy from Twitter. I followed her for like hella years. She hooked us up.
She was dope.
It was hella people. Washington makes me feel famous. I love Washington.
Oh, they love them out there. Yeah, they love you out there, man. That's a good thing, man. Damn.
Yeah. So shout out to Washington.
Shout out Washington. Dope stuff. So DJ Loose Screws and the Emerald Dynasty put together a collaborative effort of the community. We got performing artists. We got food vendors. What else? Clothing vendors, like accessories and stuff like that. Seth, you take some shirts to sell or push out?
Yeah, I did. It was all last minute, so I just used Emerald Dynasty's tent. They was like, "Oh yeah, we got a table for you." So I used their table, man. Shout out to them again. You know,
that's a plug.
I had some shirts. Yeah, no, for real. Always major love out there. But yeah, I had some shirts. I printed them up like the last 3 days before I flew out. So it was a little scramble, and honestly, I could have done better if I was standing over there, but it was kind of, it was kind of in the tuck. So I'm just learning. I'm gonna give me one of them little table skirts or like the little, canvases or something to just showcase where I'm at next time.
The shirt making process. How did that start? You flipped one of the most legendary logo flips I've seen ever in my life.
Yeah.
To take that Sega and turn it into Sefa, and it's grown, but it's also kind of related to. It's also tied to you as a person, because like that logo flip is dope and the brand is dope, but it's also people recognize the person behind it, and they're kind of also buying into that. How did you start out making those shirts? And like, what's that process like? You got like machines and stuff now?
Man, so like honestly, in the beginning, I knew I wanted to do merch, and we was doing for the Broken Record album. Me and my uncle, because he got the screen press, my uncle Spence. In the beginning, we were doing these Broken Record designs, and it was like a broken record actually, and it said Broken Record on the back. And that was the design at first that I was running with. But he also was like talking about for me, and I was just like, I always had this idea of the Sega logo with an S.
Yeah,
I always thought of that, like for even before like rapping. But I always just thought that was cool. I was one letter away, and I just mentioned it to him, and he was like, "What about that?" And I was like, "No, it's a little too." I looked at it as like being too self-centered, and I was like, "I don't want to walk around with my own name. That's crazy." But he just showed up one day. He just showed up with it. Like he just showed up with the screen. He just did it on his own.
Oh,
and he was like, "Well, it's here. You gonna use it or you not?" And I was like, well, we can try it out. As soon as he pressed it, bro, like my heart was like, yo, this is crazy. Like that's sick. So yeah, it was a screen print at first. My uncle had the forehead screen print. I had the R on the end of the Sefa, and then one of my followers, she was like, it would be dope if you put an M in the circle instead of an R. And I was like, yo, and I actually, now that I bring it up, I probably owe her a shirt. I told her I owed her a shirt, so I'm gonna hit her up and be like, yo, I owe you a shirt. But nice. she was one of the first ones. Then the people afterwards said it. Then I changed it to an M, and now I do vinyl. I do vinyl cutting. You just put it in the machine and it cuts it for you. You peel it and you press it right on with a heat press. And it's super cheap.
The progression.
And it's cheaper?
It's a lot cheaper. All you really need, you probably need like $400. And from there, that $400, if you selling t-shirts at $20 a piece, that's you make your money back instantly off the first pack. So
is $400 for that setup or to run like a load?
No, it's $400 for the setup. So my machine, I bought it for $200. And then my heat press, I bought it for $80 actually. So it's probably even cheaper than $400. I bought it on what is it called? OfferUp. So machine, the heat press, and the vinyl cutter. And then you need a computer, and also you need shirts or hoodies. I mean, $5 a shirt, you sell that for 30, 35, and you good.
That's a dope profit margin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. And I do everything in my room. So I have everything set up in my room back home, where I got my computer. I record all my music on the computer. Then next to the computer, I got the vinyl cutter. Then I got all my tools to like peel and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then next to that, I got my heat press. And then behind me in my room, I have a whole shelf just full of inventory, blank shirts, blank hoodies, and that's where I go from there.
What is your ordering process like? Do you have like a website that takes orders and sends it to you, or do you just do like DMs for special orders?
I just do DMs because usually when I do eventually when I expand more, I'll look into getting an actual website. But for now, I do DMs because orders aren't super frequent, so it's manageable at most times. And also, like, just a bunch of random fees, just transferring money here and there for them to take your order. And first of all, I could do it on my own, so I'm not gonna go that route. Plus, I wouldn't want to raise my prices to make up for that. So
Right.
I just gotta not be lazy and just be. It's a little difficult to keep up with orders and just messages in general. So I'm probably gonna be making like a merch page soon, just to differentiate the two.
Oh yeah, I seen you post about that.
Yeah, because I had some people hit me up, and like I missed their messages, like weeks before. And I was like, man, my bad, my fault. So that's just me. I'm a little, not the most punctual or whatever you call it.
You're gonna get your shirt when you get your shirt. You're gonna get it when you get it. Don't worry. I'll get it to you though.
You don't understand how many free shirts I've given. Be like, oh, bro, I forgot to send yo. I'm gonna hook you up with an extra shirt, 2 extra shirts, whatever. So that's my thing. If I'm late, I'll just be like, yo, I'll just press up another shirt. It's $5, ain't nothing,
Yeah.
So
how do you come up with different designs or colorways?
Oh, so this design right here, Good Company, my second album, my second official album. I had my boy Dallas Casey actually design it. And I just hit him up and I was like, hey, bro, I can't design. I don't design well. If you look at the ones that I did, it's mostly just text. But like Dallas is dope. So I hit him up. He gave me this design. The other design, the newer Good Company design, I don't know if y'all seen it, but Caleb, I remember Caleb from Samoa. He actually drew that one out for me. So I just been getting lucky. I'm lucky because I got a lot of friends who are real gifted with the pen, like, because I cannot draw to save my life. So I'm kind of limited in that. So I just go to people who actually know what they're doing, as opposed to making something that looks whack. So
yeah. That's smart. It's with being able to use those resources that you have, like those dope ass people, those friends that are willing to collab and put together dope art for you. That's good.
Yeah. You should start doing stickers too, man. You can send them out with your shirts.
My sister, one of my sister's best friends, Jane, she hooked me up with some stickers.
Oh, that's dope.
She drew it out. It basically looks like a shirt, and it's a Sefa shirt. It's like a little miniature one, and she hooked me up with some, but I didn't know if I was gonna price point it or if I was just gonna put them out with the shirts, and then like I was putting them out with some shirts and not others, and then I was just like, I keep forgetting about them, so I just gave them out to my family. But eventually, I want to make them myself. Like anything I do, I want to do it myself. So like, whenever I pay for something, I just be like, damn, I can do this though. Like every time I pay for something, I'm like, I that's just the way I think now. Like everything I'm calculating in my head. Like if I buy 80 of these, I could have just took that money from 80 of those and just bought the whole machine and just made it, and then made 80, and now I got my money back.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know, man. It's how I think now. It's horrible.
No, I don't think that's horrible.
No.
That's breaking free of a mindset that a lot of people are stuck in. Definitely, and just going to the next level where it's do you get the machines and the stuff that's operating and producing value instead of just buying the product and being a part of what funds that machine. You could own the machine, the entrepreneurial spirit.
Hey, once I figure out how to make shirts from scratch, it's over. I swear, I'm gonna have a whole like cotton plantation in the back or something. Like it's a wrap.
You're probably gonna have to recycle some sort of material.
Yeah,
I'm with it. Anything. We're going something about Samoa where everything we got out there. Some of those resources could be used to make shirts or something.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, but Seth was telling me a story at the festival. I mean, he's already teaching younger generations. I mean, Seth, you were talking about your cousin that came over, your nephew that spent the summer with you guys.
Oh,
he wanted a shirt, and instead of just giving him a shirt, Seth taught him how to use the machines and told him that if he learns how to use the machines and use them properly, that he can make whatever shirt he wanted and save his money.
Nice.
And that's what he did. And, Seth said he learned how to use the machine, and that's dope.
He made his whole family shirts. He was like, cool, I don't have to buy them Christmas gifts. I told him, I said, if you learn how to make it, if you learn how to do the whole process, I'm not going to help you at all. If you learn how to do it, you can make as many. I said, there's like 80 shirts back there. I said, you can make all those if you want. He was like, for real?
Nice.
I said, yeah. I said, anything you make on your own from my room, you can keep it. You just don't bother me. I'm gonna be playing Call of Duty. Don't mess with me. and he learned it. I showed him how to do a couple. He learned it. The only thing he didn't know how to do was how to fold it. But other than that, point A to Z. He was like, oh, this is easy. I said, Chick, if you was working with me and you did this, that's $180 right there. Mm-hmm. He was like, what? I was like, yeah. He's like, really? I was like, that's that easy. So
that's something that Erod talks about when he talks about his showing his cousins in Modesto, hey, we can flip these shirts legitimately instead of having to try to do other things to get money. And it's safer, and it's gonna, the profit margins are crazy. Like you could flip it for $20-$30. And he's just trying to, out of his garage, kind of do the same thing, which is equip his community with the tools to, try to become financially independent, which is what, you're doing with your nephew and your family, and what we're trying to spread to our listeners and anybody that has that same like-minded desire to either be a clothing entrepreneur and buy the machinery to produce that stuff, or make designs for somebody. That's something that you're representing to young Polynesians out there that want to follow in your footsteps. So we appreciate you for doing that and being such a consistent like light in that area.
100%.
So keep doing what you're doing. Again, it's not just how dope the clothing is. People also are responding and kind of backing you as an artist. Who are you as an artist? What would you describe yourself as?
I mean personally, I think I'm just me. Like y'all know me, y'all met me, and y'all know the music, and y'all hear the music, and I just think anybody who knows me and who's met me can just attest to that. It's a lot of music out here that's glorifying a lot of different things. It's a lot of people that are portraying a certain image that's really not who they are. And I think in the world of all that, I'm trying to do something different, do something authentic. I had I had some cousins who would ask me like early on in my music. They're like, I was always be honest. Like, man, I was a loser back then. I just had music. I was like a weirdo who liked poetry, and I had a big family and this and that. And my cousins were like, man, why you say that in your music? Da, da, da. I'm like, man, because I don't care. That's just the story. Like, I can't change that. That's just who I am. That's just what it was. And I don't think a lot of music has that authenticity these days. And so I would say me as an artist is just me as a person. You know, somebody who puts family first, somebody who loves hip hop, somebody who is really intentional in what he does and what he puts out there, the energy that I feed into. And I would hope that shows through the music, because that's what I want to show. So I mean, yeah, it's just, if you know me, then you know the music, you know the rapper. You know, like a lot of people, they be like, "Oh yeah, that's the rapper. That's not the da."
Yeah.
Like, nah, that's not that over here. You know, I'm gonna be the same person y'all see down the street, the same person in the booth, and you know, and I'm doing that on purpose. So yeah,
That's dope. That's funny because
Yeah.
right before you jumped on, me and Lance were talking about your music, and I was like, "Yeah, man, he's done all this without, swearing." And Lance was like, "You know what? You right. You are right." And that's, I mean, just like what you said, man. That's your music is you, and that's dope, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah, because I don't swear. People don't believe me.
Yeah.
I be like, wait, no, I heard you say. I be like, nah, no, I don't swear.
Yeah.
I don't even swear. I don't swear in real life. So I mean, that could be me in the song. My family listens to my music, you know. So
there you go.
I want them to listen to something. I want them to hear something they can listen to everywhere they go, you know. So yeah.
I tried to do my research. I've been listening to you nonstop for the past couple of days. I did not realize that you had not cursed in your song, and as soon as he said it, I'd like like everything flashed in my head, and I was like, yeah, no. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Respect.
Yeah, man, appreciate it.
That's
a
lot of people use cursing as like just filler though.
Yeah,
like it's not like you use a much better. Yeah, so to be able to use adjectives in your own word makeup, that's good. Sorry,
I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm kind of jealous because some of them curse words, they fit in the pocket so well. like first of all, the meaning, like just it's to emphasize. Every word is to emphasize a line. Right. Then on top of that, just the words that are there, they rhyme with so many other words. Like I'm jealous, but I may do it what I have, so it's cool.
Doing pretty well with it too, so
yeah, hopefully.
He said, "I don't want to be different. I want to be myself. I don't like asking anybody for any help. Mm-hmm. Everything you do, you cut out the middleman. You want to make sure that it's done. Like you are the producer. You're the person that's doing it."
Mm-hmm. Tried to, shout out to Nipsey. That was instilled in me like a high school when I first heard him. So just being influenced heavily by that type of music, by those type of artists. You had Nipsey, you had Kanye, who was super arrogant and super passionate and super just himself. And then, like Joe Budden, who was just super open about depression, talking about suicide in the song. I never heard that before.
Yeah.
And then Charles Hamilton, my guy, who was like he just said, I'm gonna just put out a mixtape every 2 weeks because I can, and just that work ethic. Like all these different artists really shaped me in being who I am,
Forrest, who are your rap inspirations?
Oh man, I mean, I'm a little old. Like I said, every time we talk about something, I was gonna say I'm a little older.
He always gotta try to preface it. I'm
gonna say something. He's like, he's lying. He never listened to those guys. I was like, so like growing up, man. I mean, I had a lot of musical influences. My sisters, they listen to like Guns N' Roses, stuff like that. Obviously, you live in Samoa, you're gonna listen to R&B. But I also had like my guy cousins. I mean, NWA was like probably the first like rap I ever heard. I mean, that's hardcore. You're in Samoa listening to NWA. It's like, all you thinking about is like, damn, I can't wait to go to California and be a gangster. No. No. And then, I mean, I'm not joking. Like Vanilla Ice came out, bro. I thought Vanilla Ice was the shit when that album came out. I was like, Vanilla Ice, yo. And then, I mean, when I got older, got into college, like my favorite rapper right now of all time is Jada. Jada, man. Oh my gosh. heavily influenced by Jada. Jada's that guy, man. And so when he came out with that first Kiss of Death album, I mean, By Your Side, that's probably one of my favorite songs ever. I mean, so Jada, and just like Seth, Jay-Z also, just the stories he told are just like Sefa. I mean, of course, he swears his stories are real. It's everything he's ever been through. The stories he tells are real. You know, no lies in those stories. Authenticity, like Sefa said. So, early Kanye. Like I just listened to
How early?
College Dropout early.
just that?
No, I mean all his stuff. I mean, like he read like one person you can always tell when they come out with the album, just always want to do. She always shocked you, not really shocked you, but she always has something different for you. Like Missy came out, she always has something different. Every album was something different, and just like Kanye. So I love Kanye for that. I mean, all the antics, I could probably do without it, but his music is really just it's always something different for you. He always pushes the button. I mean, he always pushes everything to something greater. You know, people want to like just this next album. I mean, you figure he's dropping that. Drake's about to drop something. You know, Drake had to set back his release because he didn't know when Kanye was dropping his. I'm pretty sure he's gonna make a little changes to his album that's coming out. Is it next week, Seth?
September 3rd.
I have no idea.
I think it's next week, and then
September 3rd.
Oh, September 3rd. And then I was talking to Noah, and Noah put me on. You know, Kendrick's dropping an album next month. Which, I mean, if those two albums drop first and Kendrick's dropping his third, I can only imagine what that album is going to be like. So Kanye's influences, you can't dispute his influence on the music. He's always putting out good music, even if it's something he's produced, not rapping on. You know what I mean?
Sefa, what are your thoughts on Donda?
I didn't even listen to it. I ain't gonna lie. The samples I heard from the stadium stuff, that much didn't even move me. So I think was it the J verse?
Mm-hmm.
And was it Roddy? Roddy was on there?
Roddy.
Them was the only two things that really got me excited. And then every that was the first, I think that was the first stream.
The first
that he did. Yeah. And then after that, like
she got 27 tracks.
27?
Yeah.
I don't got time for 27. Wait, 27. Oh, hold on. Yeah,
I think off the album, my favorite is Believe What I Say. He flipped the oldie like he usually does. It's like, but he did a really good job on Believe What I Say. Yeah, I mean, the album's pretty good. I won't lie.
There are some good songs, but again, 27 tracks is a lot.
Yeah.
So that's too long.
It's a lot to get through, but
people got jobs.
Hey, they gotta drive. You gotta put that shit on in the car. You gotta.
Hey, how far do they live from their job? They listen to 27.
They gotta commute to the city.
That was hey, boss. I'm gonna be late. Why? I gotta listen to the rest of the album.
Yeah, drive around the parking lot 10 times. Like, wait, Lance, you're not gonna let us get off this topic without you explaining yo hip hop influences, because
oh man,
I was saying before the interview, Lance got one of my favorite what song was that? That was a Coconut song, right?
The Coconut song, yeah.
Hey, bro, so your verse and Ice Cream Man's verse on that song was some of my favorites. Like Samoa. People don't realize, bro, Samoa, that era of Samoa when I first moved there, and it has nothing to do with me at all, but like I got to experience it. But I feel like that window of American Samoa, music-wise, was like unmatched.
Oh, yeah.
There was like, and we didn't have this on topic, but this is gonna be a topic. There was like a music video probably every 2-3 weeks back then.
No joke.
Every village came out with an anthem, back to back back then.
And the high schools came out with one.
You know,
like Whitcomb Media was eating. Everybody wanted a video,
right?
And
it wasn't like home video music videos. They was like really produced music videos. You know what I mean?
Director X shit. Like
Dude.
It was dope to see.
That whole era of American Samoa, like that was the epitome of island hip hop to me at that time, at least. I was like tripping out. We would go to these studios. There was some studios in high schools, and there was some studios where you had to drive
choir rooms.
Yeah. You had to drive in the back of the dirt road, and you just get to like a shack that just looks like a 1-bedroom house, and then you walk in and it's like a full studio. Like and then we had setups in my house where it was just a laptop and a little Samsung condenser mic, and it was just so many different like, I don't know how you call it, just so many different types of habitats sound wise, and there was like different genres within the island. And and then the music videos, and then just everybody, just all the energy from just being out, and just I did that song with 10-6 and them for the Off the Rock tattoos.
Oh yeah.
And hey, just be honest, like we was in there, we had a whole different beat, and I was just in there. And I write fast, and they were doing the song, and I just wrote, I got a verse today, it's in like 10 minutes, and I just recorded it. And then they were like, hey, we're shooting a video next week, and I was like, what? I didn't do videos. I was super self-conscious, but we did it. And I had a line about Ashi, and like I was in the club one time, and these like a group, like 5 dudes came up and was like, man, from Awashi, man, much love. And then I had to explain to them that I was from there, like my family's from there. And like it was like, honestly, it was like back then I was fresh to music. I didn't know nobody outside of my bubble. And I felt like a celebrity in Samoa. I loved it, bro.
You were a celebrity in Samoa. That's what I'm talking about.
It was awesome, bro. So like that era, to me, like we weren't making any money. We were broke. Like I tell everyone,
lived off of chicken plates.
I tell everybody, dude, I was selling CDs. I was printing out my CDs. I went to the Slack office on ASCC, the Student Learning Achievement Center, whatever it's called, and I would print out my papers for 25 cents. The Slack office, and I had 25 cents a paper, and I would print out these pages, and it had the track list to the CDs in a square, and I would cut them out. I put the CDs in a paper slip I got from Collabs and the blank CDs from Collabs, and then I would slide them in so they knew what songs was what number was what songs, and I was just $2. All the cute girls get them for free. And I was just passing them out. And that was like my living in Samoa. I'd make like $6-8 a day and be like, oh, I can get a Thai chicken plate. We good. And that was, bruh, it was wonderful.
Hey, shout out Maria's Thai chicken plate.
For real. I went back and they wasn't there no more. I was sad.
When'd you go back?
Well, I was hella old when I went back. I was like, hey, ACC. They was looking like, nah, bro. There's a bunch of kids over here now. It was like, you gotta get up out of here. But the last time I was there I left 2017. So I lived there from 2016 to 2017. That's the last time I lived been in Samoa.
It seemed like a lot longer. I don't know why.
When was the last time you came back for us?
When did we leave? Me and Noah left like 2015? 2016? Yeah.
Damn.
Can't wait to go back.
Yeah, everybody wants to go back, but it's like $2,000 to do it.
That too, right?
Wait, Lance, you don't want to go back?
I don't got that money to go back and hang out for a little bit.
Not for my left arm.
Right?
Here's my left arm. Can I get on the plane?
I'm like working to retire and save up to retire and maybe go back home, but like I'm not gonna make any money back home. I need to do that now.
Hey, nah, man, just what I mean, the podcast gonna pop off, and all of a sudden you got sponsorships, and all of a sudden a 2-minute ad that's a flight home. Now you're doing 3 2-minute ads on the show.
Then we're gonna do a live episode back home.
You know, come
Got
on,
to.
man. Get sponsored. Get
Got
sponsored by Blue Sky and Astica. Let's get it.
Yeah, at the same time. Come on. Compete for our listeners.
Right.
You know?
We're gonna need that. We're gonna need those 2 sponsorships because I don't know if I can afford buying calling cards back home.
Yeah. We're gonna need to get Hawaiian Air to sponsor us. We get some K passes or something.
Yeah, they should.
Make it cheaper, Hawaiian.
They should, the way that they robbing our people trying to go home and stuff.
Yeah,
Bro, just because you're a monopoly, you could turn the price up like that. Come on, Hawaiian.
Yeah, we not gonna get a sponsorship talking like this.
New Zealand Airways.
Yeah, let's get it.
We're gonna take the international route.
Yeah, Fiji Airways, all that, Pan Am, out of retirement.
When you were back in American Samoa, when did you first start recording your raps? Was that before you got to Samoa?
Yeah, it was right before. So I graduated 2010. I moved to Japan, and then it was out there it was out there where like I kind of just tried it. I would always write, and I rapped here and there like to myself. Mm-hmm. I had no confidence, and then like I didn't know what I was doing, but I just Googled how to do it, and I had a rock band mic, and I held it up together with my uncle's camera bag, and I like held it over with a piece of tape and all that, so it could sit right in front of me. And then I tried to rap and stuff, and it was horrible. But I would show my cousin. I had one cousin that I would show, and I would just make songs, and he would tell me what he thought. And then all of a sudden, he was playing it back home to the homies, like to my family. And then I started getting calls like, bro, you make music? And I was like, no, not really. And then like I got hyped.
Don't listen to that.
Bro, I got hyped up. Like after 4 songs, I got hyped up. Everyone hit me up. Nice. And then I was like, you know what? Coming out with a mixtape. Hey, you guys will never hear it, but I came out with a mixtape back then. And I was so young, and I was so whatever. I was so like stuck on Sacramento. I was homesick in Japan. I was homesick about Sacramento in Japan. You know how stupid you gotta be to be homesick about a place like Sacramento while you living in Japan? Like that's how brainwashed I was. That's how young in my thought process I was to be missing. Granted, California, everybody love California and whatnot. But like you in Japan, like people I grew up with gonna die and never set foot there. Right. I just didn't have that mentality at the time. So my first mixtape was called Sirens and Swishers because I don't know. It was horrible. It was horrible. But yeah, that's where I started. So when I moved to
what got you out to Japan?
So my auntie, I graduated from high school, and then my auntie was like, I never lived anywhere else but Sacramento. And everywhere I grew up in Sacramento, like from where I was born at to where I graduated from, literally on the same street, wasn't too far. We lived within 2 exits. So my exposure to the world wasn't big. And my auntie, she told me, she was like, oh, you graduated, you ain't gonna go to college. Because I was smart, but I wasn't proactive. So I didn't apply to too many places, and I was just going through some things personally. So after graduation, she was like, I can give you $500 or you can come to Japan. And I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna come to Japan. And
wait, she said I can give you $500 or you can come to Japan.
Yeah.
And you chose Japan over the money.
Yeah, I mean, nice. The money was cool, but like I had a lot of people around me, like especially a lot of my friends. I was smart. I was a smart kid. All my friends were like the top 10 in the class type people. And so they were all excited for me. And just them being excited, it made me feel like, okay, that's what I got to do. So it felt like the right thing to do. And I thank God that I took that opportunity. My auntie Anna, she was in the military, and she took me out there because after a while of being homesick and getting over that, it was an incredible experience. Like growing up, we was real sheltered. Like my mom, like my parents, we was like, we only could sleep over family's house. And like, even to that extent, I could only go to sleep at certain family's house. Mm-hmm. And like, I was only comfortable you know, because I was to myself. So being in Japan was like me being in like real high school, where I was like hanging out with kids that weren't related to me and like going to parties and stuff like that and like being out late. Like I was like, wait, what the hell? This is crazy. It's like in the movies. Like what the hell?
What's a movie?
Yeah, like what? This is awesome. You know, it's different. So like it really opened my eyes to just see a different type of life and being exposed to different types of people. Yeah, and then I got shipped to Samoa.
Is that something you would recommend, living outside of your hometown for a little bit?
Hell yeah, bro. I tell people all the time, man, like the world is bigger than where you come from. When I got home, I try to encourage all my cousins to come to Samoa. I still tell them that like it's vital for them to make it back home. They're not gonna see things the right way until they make it back home. And I don't even think people in Samoa really understand it to just walk by the grave of your ancestor. Not even to be able, like, just knowing them, let alone getting to see where they lay at, you know? And knowing that you walking on the same footsteps they walked on, the same gravel, same soil, you living in the same shelter, you know? Things like that took me a while to understand and took me a while to appreciate. But as soon as I did, it was like a light, you know, it was light bulbs just switched in my head, and it that was the moment in my life where things started moving away from like me, like moving away from self, and like starting to realize I got to be more I got to have more intent in what I say and what I put out there. I got to understand the people I'm speaking to and the kids that I'm influencing. Mm-hmm. So all of that comes from my time back home, and it was really just like an eye opener. Being home was like you find out you were missing something you never knew that you were missing. So yeah, I encourage. First of all, you got to get out where you come from, but then also you got to get back home. To the people who haven't been back to Samoa, America, Samoa, Tonga, whatever, wherever y'all from, I highly encourage y'all to go back. Straight up.
Yeah. There's the, I mean, pandemic right now. So as many avenues aren't going to be available, but definitely reconnecting with just your culture and, like you said, walking the same paths as generations before you have, and realizing where you come from and just the community and how big it is that you're a part of. That many people that don't go home or only grow up in the States or other places don't have that chance to really recognize. So that, you know, getting back to your roots is definitely something, but also, like you said, I think different perspectives from being different places kind of helps you understand that it's not just what you grew up knowing. The world is 7 billion people all living their own lives, all the main character in their own story, all just strings of fabric in, you know, that woven life that we have as a community. So seeing different perspectives, being different places really opens your eyes to that. It's not just you. It's, like you said, it's bigger, and it pushes away from just you.
But also, I mean, a credit to Sefa. I mean, a lot of kids go back home, but they don't really take in everything. You know, Seth got back home and he was out meeting people, you know, just out, trying to be part of the culture, you know, learning as much as he could. I mean, I've had nephews and cousins come back home and just be like, man, I don't even like it out here. I can't do it. I want to go back home. you know, and they just
like
didn't take it for what it's for. Yeah. And I mean, to the both of you, I mean, Lance, you grew up out in the States too, so when you guys got, and you can talk to all the people who became your friends out there, just how much influence you were to the kids back home, and how you guys came home and took in the culture instead of, me just trying to be the stateside kid in a foreign country. So credit to both of you, man. It's not everybody goes back home and has the same experience that the both of you had. Not too many people come away from Samoa and be like, all these friends that you guys made, and but more to the effect of all the people and how they speak of the both of you. A lot of kids come away from that a lot. I know a lot of kids who come home and people back home were like, thank God that kid left. But for the both of you, man, there's a lot of people back home who miss the both of you. Not just people who you guys were real close friends with, but people you guys might have just met in passing. So it speaks a lot to both of your characters, man.
I can't lie though. When I first came to Samoa, I did not like it at all. And part of that was because I was so homesick. And that part of the homesick was because I was so young in the way I thought. And it wasn't until I went back home and I was like a year removed from being in Sacramento. And I was just like, oh man, my first semester at ACC was horrible. I made no friends. I didn't talk to nobody. I used to go to class. I had a class at 8, a class at 9, and I had a class at 12. And so from 9:50 to 12, I would sit in my 12 o'clock class before it was on and do my homework. And then I had class from 12 to 1:30. And then I had a class at 4. And I was sitting in that class until 4. And that's how my whole first semester went. I was miserable. Like I didn't want to be there. It wasn't until I got back home to Sacramento and I realized it was like nothing had changed. You know what I mean? Like we was going to the same spots, we was doing the same things. And I was like, whoa, I don't want to be here like this. I mean, I love it. I love everybody over there, but like I realized like, man, I had it good, like there was a lot more opportunity. When I went back after that first year and I got to Samoa, that's where like, as far as what you said, that's where I met everybody. I met y'all, I just met everybody that I'm cool with now because my whole perspective changed. And it took some growing up. It took some like humbling of myself to just be like, dude, you ain't special, And it was funny. It's funny that you say that because I was there so long and I was so cool with everybody. I didn't understand why people didn't like kids from the States. I was like, man, what y'all mean? I'm from the States. They're like, yeah, but you different.
But you different.
I was like,
yeah.
what do you mean? It wasn't until I was there for so long that people felt like I was from there. And then I would meet kids from San Diego, from Long Beach, or from wherever, the Bay. And they would come up and they would look at me and the people that I was hanging with and be like, not really say it, but act like, man, these are some fives. Man, these dudes don't know nothing. And these kids is slow. These kids is so, this whole island in slow motion. They're not ready for this. And I was sitting there like, and then when we finally interact with the people, they're like, oh, man, you from Cali? Oh, why you hanging out with them? And I was just like, oh, I see why they hate y'all. I hate y'all too. Like, I hate y'all. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. And it wasn't until like I had that whole switch in role reversals, like to where I'm the one, like
you're the
whole time. Yeah, the whole time, like, man, y'all tripping. Kids, we cool from Cali. Like, we straight. And then I meet them about, I get it, you right. They some big kids like, I was with him. I was like, bro, I hate Cali kids too. Like, yeah, like, so it's funny that you brought that up because that's exactly what it was like to a lot of kids who came to Samoa with like this thing where they just like, they are better, not just Cali, but just in general. It was kids like, they're better and they they're cooler and they got, whatever. It was swag. That's how old I was. Back then it was called swag. Like, oh yeah, I got this Cali swag. And that was what it was. But yeah, like I feel it. It was
kids would come down and just automatically think, oh man, this island not ready for me.
Yeah.
Like, I wear my pants with one cuff up, one down. Like, I'm about to set this shit. Y'all not ready. This is some like you got served shit.
Yeah.
That attitude was
Yeah.
And then at lunchtime you're getting punked.
yeah. Oh, what are you doing upside down, man? What you
Yeah.
pockets for? Oh, you're a dick? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they found that out real quick.
Man, yeah. I miss y'all more though. Like I tell everybody, I'm gonna die out there. I already know I'm gonna get buried at and everything. Like, you know, that's it right there. So
That's the last chapter.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. It's just a whole different. It's a whole different vibe out there. And I mean, y'all was there.
Yeah.
You know, y'all can speak for it. Lance is not telling y'all the truth, people. For the people who are listening to the podcast, for the people that don't know, who did have Channel 6 back in the day, but Lance was a reoccurring figure in American Samoa, like that same era that I'm telling y'all about in terms of music. Lance was a very pivotal and impactful figure on our television screens Monday through Monday, really. Huh? It was every day, Flight Night.
Yeah, and you know what? Not only the TV screens, he was also on the radio waves. You know,
yeah.
Yeah.
So Lance is being very modest. I've caught a couple episodes since the start of this. And I haven't heard anyone give you your flowers. So let me just tell you right now. Much love to all the other hosts. I know every other host from Flight Night, but it wasn't quite like when Lance was there, you know. That's just my humble opinion. But that was my Flight Night was my favorite show. Y'all remember that, right? Remember I had every episode on my computer? Yeah. You remember that? I had every episode of Flight Night. I think I had 87 episodes at the time. I would download everything off of Vimeo. I would download every episode and save it on my hard drive.
Hey,
because I was
favorite episode.
Come on, those. Everybody's favorite episode.
Visiting the studio.
No, not that. Nah, hell no. It was actually there was two. It was
I know which one you talking about.
The runner-up was what did you say? Very strong. That was a runner-up for real. That was the funniest. That was the second funniest, and then the very funny. I don't know, Lance. Was Lance the interviewer that day?
I don't know. Was it you, Lance, at the airport?
It was at the airport, and there was a girl, and they had asked the girl. I'm so sorry she hears this. They had asked the girl, you know, she wants to. I think she was going to school. She's like, "Yeah, I want to go to school, study for nursing." And I was like, "Oh yeah, where do you want to go to school at?" She's like, "Oh, in the States." And they were like, "Oh, which state?" She was like, "Australia." Lance, is that you? Lance, is that you?
I might have been.
Bruh, she said the States and then she said Australia. And oh man, they played that one clip over and over.
Right.
Too long I messed up because he played it in black and white. He played the black and white.
He slow-moed it too.
Yeah. Oh man.
Shout out Too Long of Whitcomb.
Yeah.
So, Whitcomb Media, shout out, yeah.
The greatest. I used to, hey, that was my little I used to scope on there and be like, it's coming into this week. That was where you meet all the new people, like the airport.
That was wild that we American Samoa would show up to the airport twice a week when the flights would come in.
It was so crazy. And people didn't know. It'd be so crowded up there, but in the parking lot, people actually would park there and drink in the parking lot, not even go into the airport. They would drink in the parking lot of the airport. I mean, they had cars out there parked with their stereos turned up loud. People had coolers in their car hanging out in the parking lot of the airport drinking.
How much was it to park there?
Yeah. It was $1, right? It was like $2. Right?
Yeah, and then you enter in there, and instead of turning left to the parking spaces, you go onto the grass behind
the tanks, right?
The tanks
behind the most dangerous place you could ever drink at and smoke behind the jet fuel tanks of the airport.
Then you hit McDonald's after, you know,
right around the corner.
Yeah.
Flight night was a movement, and everybody would be there. Like everybody would show up. Your whole family would show up to pick you up from the airport. So everybody,
say goodbye. Yep.
Or to say goodbye, and then they would hang out. And so it would be this really big social event.
Yeah.
Right. I could never understand when I was younger. My cousins would get ready to come back home. Like we'd be hanging out in the States, and then like we little by little we go back during the summer, and then everybody would like, we're taking you to the airport. I was like, bro, why are you wearing the new clothes you bought for school? But they be geared up. I was like, and you know what I mean? When I was younger, finally when I got orders, like, man, I'm in the bathroom getting ready. It's like, what's taking so long? It's like, I'm not going back looking like the way I came.
You never know who he's gonna run into. And you know what's funny is I would know Flight Night was filming when I would see a group of people running. People would love to watch the show and would hate to be on it.
Yeah.
Like it would, like I would just see people running like, no, I don't want to be on it. Yeah, I was the only one walking up. Like, hey, did you guys done yet? I love that show. I'll be like, yeah, man, what's up? Ask me about. I'm not going nowhere, but I'm here.
Bro, I remember one night, Lance caught me.
Ask me the question.
Yeah,
I was waiting for somebody, and Lance caught me, and I was waiting. I was so lit, and Lance said, "Can I interview you?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." And then after the interview, Lance was like, "We're actually not going to use your interview." I was like, "That's fine, man. I don't even know what I answered, but you're right. Don't use it."
That's funny, bro.
Was
damn. Talking to y'all make me hella miss Samoa. I swear.
We gotta make it back.
I'm going summer. Hopefully, if the borders is open, I'm going this summer.
Nice. You got plans there, or you need to get back?
Well, damn, I don't need to get back.
No, I mean, like,
like I don't. I gotta get back.
How many kids you got back?
Like your court mandated
return
date.
Nah.
Seth gotta get back and feed his bills.
He said, you want to get back or you gotta get back? Like, what's this? No, my little cousin graduated, so I just, I don't have to be there, but I want to be there, So, yeah. Wait, Lance. So you didn't grow? So you grew up in San Diego?
I grew up in Carson.
Okay.
Carson, California.
I feel like I knew that. And then you moved to Samoa.
I first moved to American Samoa when I was about 6, like first, second grade. Then we moved back to Carson like 1999. So I was like in 5th grade. And then I moved back to I played Counter-Strike all night, one night, like without going home. and the next day I was told that I was going to be sent to American Samoa to live with my uncle for trying to be a gangbanger. So yeah, I
you banging on Counter-Strike?
No.
Or they thought. Oh, they thought.
I was playing Counter-Strike with some gang members, some Samoan gang members who were also my cousins. And when
obviously.
And it was like 8 a.m. We had gone to 2 different video game computer labs or something, one until midnight and then one from midnight to like 6, 7 in. And then I walked home and my grandma was staying with us in California at the time. And I walked in and she was like, oh, no, you didn't. And both my parents were at work. So when they got back, I ran into Maki and Dimawana as I was walking home. And they were like, ooh, you stayed out all night, huh? And I was like, I tried to act hard and shit. I was like, well, what's it to you? And it's like, what's it, motherfucker? You about to get your ass. You about to get whooped.
Like,
how old were you?
Get surprised when you get home.
Man, wait, how old were you at that time?
It was like 11 or 12.
Oh, okay.
Because I got sent to Samoa in 7th grade.
Shout out to your uncle, Samoa.
Yeah, shout out Samoa.
That's your uncle?
Yeah. That's who I lived with.
He said, what?
Oh, what the hell? Hey, that dude's I heard about that guy, man.
Oh yeah, he
was at Kafunga High School, I think, when I was there.
Man, Yeah.
When Max was there too.
That was tough. We lived in Leone, so we thought we were going to go to Leone High School, and my uncle was going to stay working at Tafuna High School so that we wouldn't have to run into him all the time. And then he let us think that until like the first day of school, and then he drove us to Tafuna High School. All right, so if you guys mess up, I'm definitely going to find out. Good luck for the next 4 years.
So the legend is true then. That sounds like, yeah.
Yeah, all the legends are true.
Oh yeah, man. He had a cricket bat that was like attached to his hip everywhere he went around that campus.
I heard you had to grab your ankles if you was late to class or whatever.
Then you had to hug the bell once they got that installed. I think the cricket bat must have gotten broken down at some point because he switched to the 2x4.
Then he switched to the 2x4,
which he shaped the bottom part so it was like a bat handle.
Yeah,
and then he wrote on it Board of Education.
Board of Education.
And he would just go around giving the Board of Education to delinquent students.
I'm so glad I didn't go to high school out there.
Hey, but he loved his kids though. I'll tell you that. He loved his students.
Yeah.
Yo, and a bunch of students would like vouch for him. They were like, yeah, he's the best. And then others would be like, that's an asshole.
Hey, I just heard he was strict, and then I was just like, "How strict?" And then my friends who went to Kafunga told me, and I was like, "Oh, well, I'm glad he don't work at ASCC."
He said he's definitely strict.
He
man,
kept a bunch of kids in school. And,
so that's why you was so well mannered and well spoken, then, huh? You was living with the drill instructor.
Yeah, I didn't have a choice. Don't be a dick. Don't be an asshole. Don't cause any trouble, man.
These are my rules. Those are
the rules. Those are the rules. You break the rules, and you were going to get smacked, bro. I'm like, what's a nice way to say get a left hook to the face?
I mean,
he was a disciplinarian.
Yeah, he was fair with all the kids, and so. It wasn't just his kids, or he wouldn't just pick on the kids at school. Because I mean, when I was going to high school, me and his son Mark were really good friends, so we'd always be at the house. And he was like that with all of us. I mean, but he loved us. But he always made sure to let us know that if you get out of line, I'm gonna be the one to put you back in line.
Yeah,
I can respect that, like all the way across the board. You know. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Some people playing favorites with their kids, or some people are extraordinary kids. You know, it's a little different, but
he probably favored the athletes a little bit.
Just a little bit. Yeah. Okay. You're right.
I mean, you know,
you're right. Because he also tried to
because he's a coach.
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
It's like
you should go to detention. When are you gonna transfer to the Yogi? I was like, no. No.
I want to talk about the Flight Night episode where they went into your studio and broke everything down. When you were first recording in Samoa, like what are the different equipment that you have now? Like what were you using then?
So as I explained in the episode, you know, the laptop that I was using was borrowed equipment from a unnamed friend. I remember we had a I can say this, whatever. We had to throw away some we had to turn in some computers. And we were just like, well, there's 11 here and we only got 8. And they were like, what? Yeah, we only got 8 computers. And they're like, okay, that's fine. And then when they accepted that there was only 8 there, so I had a computer.
Acquired.
Yeah, they got lost in inventory.
It's part of the program.
It happens.
Yeah, And so I had a computer. I think I had my original laptop. I broke it. I remember I was watching, Samoa, people don't know that hard drives were the soul of Samoa entertainment.
Yeah.
Like, people don't know, we used to walk around, tell them, what's got on your hard drive? It's like, we would just swap it out. Like, hey, you plug yours in, I plug mine in. I'm getting Dragon Ball Z, all the episodes. I'm getting all the freaking, different kind of movies that's just out, the ones with the hand cameras.
What were people... What were people downloading that off of? Like LimeWire?
Torrents,
just
like
different torrents?
Yeah, like the Pirate Bay or whatever.
People was up on it?
But wait, you asking like you wasn't there. Wait, were you not there?
I know, I remember that, but I'm like trying to figure out how everybody got it. Like everybody had their own like torrent downloader.
Oh, so check this out. Me and my homie, who I will not name, but my homie had an office, and the office had damn near the fastest, like as fast as the government internet. And what I would do was I would go take my laptop over the weekend. We sleep over there over the weekend because it had Wi-Fi, TV, and AC. So every weekend we sleep over there. And I would take my laptop. I would have a hard drive about 1 terabyte. And I would start all these downloads. And I'd keep my laptop plugged in the corner. And I would just and I would use the people who work there, I'd use their computers too. And I had Fresh Prince, Family Matters, just literally anything that I wanted to watch before streaming, before Netflix. And we just download all these different, and I just saved them all to the terabyte. And that's how I did it. I used their internet, and it was super fast. Like, I think it was like 200 megabytes or 50 meg. Like at the time, it was fast.
That's blazing.
Yeah.
For the island with no satellite footprint that had to fucking cable in some internet.
Bruh, it was, so that's how I did it. But for the setup.
That's news to me.
Wait, didn't you pull up on this at the Lee one time or no?
Yeah, we played. I mean, it's also a lot of people's introduction to Call of Duty was we sneak into the computer lab at the college and we be playing Call of Duty. Yeah. And then we had at the league, we also had
Halo tournaments.
Hey man, we doing it. We play Halo on the big screens in the league.
Yeah.
You know, we'd hook up all the Xboxes and play in there. And so I was also a computer tech at ASPA. And I mean, literally that's how we get, just like how Sefa said, you just get there in the morning, start popping your downloads while you're working on a whole separate computer. I built a computer for that purpose alone. Yep. For that purpose alone. Out of junk computers that we take from other offices, we're like, you know what? We're just gonna build us a download computer.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that was it. Yeah. At the
Shout out ASPA.
At the league, we had the the big screen that come down right above the stage, and we had my homies Wii, and we would play Wii bowling. We would play bowling in that big old screen. We'd be right in the middle of the Holy Auditorium like this. We'd be doing that, and we'd be betting push-ups and $1 or whatever. You know, it was love in Samoa.
If someone's trying to put down recordings right now from scratch, what do they need? Just a laptop and a mic? Is there a certain program you would suggest?
So there's a lot of programs, especially now, that are available that weren't available before. But to me, all you really need is a USB condenser mic, something probably $100-$150, and a computer, laptop, or it don't matter what kind. Because I use a Mac now, but up until like Broken Record, I was using that same laptop from 2012 all the way up until 2019. So I used that, and it was a what is it called, a PC, whatever. It was a Windows. So you know, it was Windows 10s. It was, or maybe Windows 7. It wasn't nothing special, but you know, anything you can fit. And I use Adobe Audition, so that's for my Mac. But you can use. There's a bunch of free programs. There's a bunch of ways to get programs for free. All my programs are free. Hey, I got all them crack gens, key gens, all that. All my programs is free.
There's free programs, and there's programs you can get for free.
You know,
those are two different categories.
And they mean the same thing. You know what I'm talking about?
I pay it for it. Yeah, but a good mic you would suggest. Condenser mic?
Yeah. And yeah, condenser mics. My mic wasn't even that good, honestly.
Wait, what's wrong with the hanger and pantyhose?
Hey, that was before. I sell merch now. I can afford it. Hey, when I made the purchase for Chaotica eyeball filter that goes around my microphone.
Yeah.
It's super simple styrofoam, whatever. $200. And I was like, I can afford it now.
Cover?
Right.
Yeah, not even a mic, just the cover. And I was like, I don't know if I want to do this. And then I was just like, you know what? I'm going to treat myself and I'm going to also invest in myself. And it made things way better. But even before that, the music was good as long as you take time to research how to edit vocals or you pay for the vocals to get edited. Like I told y'all, if I could do it myself, I'm going to do it. So I do everything myself, the editing, mixing, and mastering. Mm-hmm. But it could probably sound better if I were to go through somebody. I just hate paying. I'm a cheapskate. So I'd rather just do it myself.
Yourself and save the money.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if I rap good enough, I don't need the theatrics around it. So it all works out.
Just gotta put the bars together.
A little bit.
What's up with the beats? How do you get beats? You make your own beats?
Nah, that's one of those ones, you gotta delegate to people with real talent in that area. And that's what I do, So thankfully, with my music, I've been able to run into and collaborate with a lot of people who are really talented in that field of work. Because I can't do none of that. I can't play a piano to save my life, and I took classes and everything. Like it's just, I hear it in my head, but I can't put it down. So I've been able to work with a lot of people who've liked the music and have shown a lot of love in terms of like their pricing. A lot of the people just shoot me beats just to work with me, and it's that's a blessing. So I can't really, I can't produce.
What I'm saying is, other people do it. How do people get you beats? They just send it to the email?
Yeah, some people, they'll message me and we'll talk, and they'll just, let me know that they make beats, and I'm always down to listen. It's not really that I'm picky. It's just, I don't force anything now. So these days, like before, I listened to a beat 100 million times and then come up with something. These days, I don't really do that. I noticed that if I don't write the verse like automatically, then it's just not meant to happen right now. And some songs will happen, like I'll listen to it and then I'll write like 14 bars, 16 bars, and then that's it. And then I'll come like 3 months later and write 3 whole minutes and just automatic. It's just like, okay, I'm noticing like if I'm not in the mood, I try not to force it. So people send me beats, I don't always use them like right away. Mm-hmm. But when it happens, it happens. It's pretty dope what comes out.
When it moves you to write something is when that's the best. But if it doesn't, then you might just have to wait on it a little bit.
Yeah, cause I'm moody. Like with music, like I have to be inspired. So like one day I'll be like, like talking with y'all, how I'm like, Samoa, I gotta change the world. I gotta impact these kids. And then like other times, I'm disheartened by like news of, kids getting killed in Sacramento, or like, and then I'm like seeing different things, like being inspired by like that show, the Panthers, and just seeing different things like that. And so I'll just work on different inspirations, and it really all comes and goes real quick, So like if I don't hit it right when I'm in that mood or whatever, then I just gotta wait for it to come back. And it always comes back, Yeah.
Because it's authenticity. It's like the real you. You just gotta catch it in that window that it's there.
Yeah. Yeah, I can always,
it comes back.
Yeah, I can always draw back to it, but it just takes a lot of energy. And these days I just do what I want to. So if I don't feel it or if I don't want to do it, then I just don't,
How do you go from being self-conscious as a kid to someone that's really setting their boundaries now? Like how do you find that I guess self-confidence?
Man, I think I'm the worst person to answer this question.
I think you're the best person.
Right, the best person.
Yeah.
Nah, because it took me so long to get here.
Right.
And I mean, like, even as recently as this year, in terms of just believing what people tell me about myself. I think you gotta. I think in order to have that confidence, you gotta be honest with yourself. And for a long time, like, I made all these excuses, and people don't realize, like, that stuff starts within you, you know, and you can't really make no progress. You can't build nothing if the foundation is off. Confidence is one of those things, you know. You can't build up your confidence if you don't believe it. And so you really gotta be honest with yourself. You gotta just believe whatever you trying to put out there. Like, for a long time, man, like, my music in the beginning, like, it was this confidence in the music that really wasn't present, honestly, in a crowd. It was present amongst friends. It was present amongst people that I was close with or comfortable with. But in a crowd, it wasn't like that. I was super timid, or I would act like I was confident, but I wasn't truly like that. It took like a lot of practice to get there, and a lot of, like, feeling like I was really out there because I didn't like it. And now in who I am today, like, I realize I could be that if I want to, if the opportunity, not the opportunity, but if it's necessary for me to be that person. But I don't feel the need to prove it anymore. Like, I don't feel the need to go out and be the loudest or be the one, like, when you walk in a room and everybody's attention on you. Like, I don't need to be that. I'll be posted in the back, like, I'll be chilling, and some people will be like, "Dang, you're Sefa the rapper," and I'll be like, "Oh yeah, Sefa, you know," like, you know, because it's not necessary, it's not needed. So, like, now I'm learning my confidence is still there, even if I'm quiet, even if I'm in the back, because I really don't need to, you know. I'm not here to prove anything to nobody. And when I hit that level of confidence to where it's just like, I'm walking out like, you see me in my little videos on Instagram, even right now. Like, I don't gotta fix up. I don't gotta look all crazy. I wear every shirt that I wear is something that I made. You know, like, some people are like, "Oh, this dude wearing another Sefa shirt, another good company shirt." But, like, to me, I'm doing what makes me proud, or what makes me happy, or makes me satisfied. And so that's the ultimate level of confidence, is to just be comfortable in your own skin. To get there, it took a while, but once you get there, it's a game changer. That book is dope. You know?
Hey, see, like we said, man, you're the perfect person to say. That's what these kids need to hear these days, man. That it's a process. It's not something that, like, one day you wake up and, like, man, I'm confident today. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then it lasts. No, you can wake up confident one day and then wake up the next day and just be back in your shell. So, but you work at it. And like you said, you work at it every day. And you also, like, one thing people don't really tell other people is that you have to be honest with yourself, you know? Mm-hmm. And if you're not honest with yourself, like you said, Seth, you don't have that foundation in yourself, you can't go out and be confident, you know, in front of people. And perfect example, like you said, when you're able to be in the background confident and not having people recognize you, you know, stuff like that, that's real confidence, man. Is that even without people, you know, even without their attention on you, you still know who you are. And yeah, that's dope, man. Not too many people will admit that. And these younger kids out here these days, they don't hear that very often. You know, what they see, like you said, social media is really face value. You know what I mean? Man. All you see is what they want you to see on, you know, and your music also portrays that. Like how, like you said, authenticity, we go back to that word. A lot of that stuff, a lot of people don't have that social media, music-wise, but best thing about you, man, you're so talented, but who you are in your music is who you really are out of your music. So, yeah, man, you're the perfect person to ask that question, man. Come on, man.
That was a great answer. If you're just living your honest self, then it's a lot easier to be confident.
Yeah.
And if you're following something that you're passionate about, it's even more easier to be all in for that. Like an honest man doesn't have to remember his lies.
Right.
Like you're just
I know,
being real.
like
So it's just you. So it's easier. It's works that way.
Yeah, like telling people you're gonna come to the after party. You know, you don't have to remember that. And you know, it's
Hey man, I'm old, man. I fell asleep, man.
So I'm sitting around there like, I'm like, where's this guy at? I'm walking around looking for this dude with his camera and I see nothing the whole night.
Yeah, I went home. I said, hey, I'm gonna take a 20-minute nap. Woke up, it's like 1:30 in the morning. Oh. Damn it.
It is dark.
Man.
No, I'm playing. But yeah, like it also just to add on to that, because I remember I was tweeting about this the other day. Being true to who you are, also you avoid a lot of drama that you don't need to be in.
Mm.
A lot of people run into issues, or they get into all these problems with their friends or with their circle because first they trying to be somebody that they not, and then they start surrounding themselves with people that they shouldn't surround themselves with, and all of a sudden you trying to fit in a social circle that you're supposed to be comfortable in. You know, people don't they don't take it seriously that they get to control the environment. And so like me, I get to control who I run into and who I interact with. I take that very seriously. Like social media is just, you know, it's a way for me to dabble in these different social groups without actually having to put energy into it. But like real life, the people I deal with is who I want to deal with, and I take that very seriously. Like people know I don't answer texts. Like, you know, I don't just reply. I don't just get into whatever because, hey, you know, that energy that means something. So I'm not just gonna get that out. People gotta understand that. And the more that you're comfortable with yourself, the less problems you're gonna run into.
Do a lot of people reach out for verses and ask for like free verses? Your time is valuable, right? And the work that you're putting in.
Yeah, they can ask all they want. Hey man, you know, like it was, you know, at a point in time where I was young and arrogant, I remember asking a pretty prominent Polynesian artist, I won't say his name because at the time I was hurt. I asked him for a verse and he was like, yeah, you know, there's a budget. And me, not knowing anything and not really putting the time in, I'm like, man, this dude think he Hollywood, blah, blah, blah. And then now I'm at this point where I'm just like, bro, it's been 10 years. Nah, not even a budget. It don't cost me nothing. Like, I don't pay nothing. I don't ever pay studio time. Nice. I don't pay for beats. I don't pay for none of that. It ain't even that. It's just, I've been at this for 10 years. And you just, you know, people think they could just come in and they just want me to do this because I've put myself in a position to where I could do it for free. That I could do it for free. And I'm pretty good at it. So it'll take me 20, 25 minutes. And then to do it for free after 10 years of work, that's crazy. That's like going to a doctor and be like, hey, can you give me heart surgery for free? Yeah. You ain't finna do that, you know? So yeah, they can ask for free verses all they want, but they gonna get hit with the quote, you know?
I mean, like we were talking at the festival, man. Sefa was telling me in his younger days, I mean, did stuff for free, man. He was naive. You know what I mean? Figured just do stuff for free to get him somewhere. But this, and I just attested to, again, the confidence question is Sefa finally decided and learned that his talent is, you know what I mean? It's worth a lot more than just doing free verses, you know? I mean, it's cool. You want to help somebody out? All right. But, I mean, that's your time. That's your talent. You know, and people expecting it for free is the worst. You know, just hitting you up like, you know what I mean? You have your people that obviously you would pop out a verse for free for, but that's your people. I mean, other than that, it's a business.
Yeah, and also like just side note, if a Polynesian kid is super talented and I see something, I've always reached out.
Right.
Whether it's just to get them on, like my boy Leota, that fool from Long Beach, hey, that dude is a problem. And the first time I heard him, I reached out instantly. I didn't give him a verse. I asked him for a verse, but you know, I did what I could. Like I hit everybody that I knew. Like, bro, this dude is a problem, and now he doing great things. Bobby B Max from Utah. As soon as I heard him, I said, "What?" I said, "Yo, this 95 baby." I said, "Hey, I need to work with this kid because he's gonna be special." You know, I mean, I don't have much, but like, you know, I put it out there, and he's on my mixtape, and whatever he needs, I got him because, you know, it's different. It's different when I'm inspired by these younger cats. I wouldn't charge for that. You know, I wouldn't charge for like helping out. Even some other artists, like I just hear I hear a song and I just do a remix and tag they Twitter handles or whatever on it and put it out. You know, gets a couple plays and gets their names out there. But I'm always help when I can. But this is for like, hey, you ain't gonna be rapping about having all these cars and jewelries and they hit me up for a reverse. That's not how it's gonna work. Nah, you ain't gonna do that. So that's where it differs. You know, it's different. It's different with that. But yeah, you know.
He said we grown. We're not gonna lie about that.
Yeah, you know, come on, man.
He's like, it says that you have bags of cash on deck.
I just need one. I just need one.
Right, just give me one of the bags.
Give me one of those bags. What are some of the recent collabs you've done? You got new singles out? You got new challenges, I hear?
So I just did 2 songs with K Nova.
Yeah.
And I don't know if y'all know, but in high school, that dude was the guy. He's still the guy, but like in high school, I remember that was the first time I heard of him. And I was just like, he was my MySpace song. And, you know, now my uncle works with him. Uncle Spence works with him. And so I've done 2 of his last singles. I've been on it, featured. And just incredible music. And music that I feel is going to resonate really well with our people. So the first song we did was Queen with my Thoko Rob Lowe from South Sac.
Dope song.
Yeah, you know, just empowerment for our women.
Yeah.
All women. And then we just did Magic. And the way we did Magic was super on the fly. Like he sang it to me in the car while we was driving to the studio. And I was just like, bro, can we lay that song you were singing in the car? And it just turned out it was magic, bro. Like when we did it, it was crazy. So yeah, so those are the 2 most recent singles. I got a couple other features I did a while back. I don't really recall exactly, but and I'm always working on stuff. I got an album coming, hopefully later on this year.
You got another album dropping this year?
Hell yeah! I'm trying to get on the Pacific. I'm trying to get on the PMAs. So I want to get on the Pacific Music Awards.
Oh, yep.
So in New Zealand. So hey, I'm gonna have everybody voting because I think you need to get voted in for it.
Yeah.
So then I think it's in January, March. In March, I'm gonna post it and submit my music and see if I can get voted. But
man, we gonna get that done, man. You make that trip. I'll tell you what, man. You make that trip, I'm making the trip, man.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
See you guys up on the PMAs accepting awards.
Bruh, please.
In New Zealand.
I'll go there and lose.
Hey.
If I could get a seat at the table, I'm with it. You know how much networking that can be done while you losing?
A nomination is a win, man. A nomination is a win.
You know, PMA nominee. That's gonna be my name in every title from now on. PMA nominee, Sefa M. Yeah.
You talked about the Panthers, the New Zealand show. You said you have to have a VPN to watch that?
Yeah, I don't know if I should be advertising like that because I don't know how
someone said you need a VPN.
Someone told you.
Yeah, someone told me that I heard through the grapevine. But yeah, I watched the Panthers, bro. Have y'all seen it?
I've seen previews.
I've seen some previews. What is it about?
Bro, that show is incredible. And y'all, after this, y'all need to go watch that.
Does that follow the Don Rays?
Yep, the Polynesian Panthers back in the 70s. I had little knowledge about it. I didn't really know too much about it, but watching that, it first of all, just as a piece of like cinematography, it was dope. Like it was super. It was like a TV show, like on ABC or NBC or something. You know, like it was a real show. And then on top of that, it was real acting by our people, just to see us on screen, hearing, the Tongans on there speaking their language, and Samoan, the little Samoan girl singing in Samoan, and just little things like that. It was, bruh. It had me in tears. It had me cheering like I was like when Captain America had Thor's hammer type stuff. Man, like I was cheering. I was like, yeah. So yeah, it follows like the whole lead up to the Don Rays. And for those who don't know, they played us, bro. They played us
big time.
They made it. It's crazy how like every timeline that you follow with these like big tragic catastrophe type stuff, it all is like a blueprint. It all follows the Holocaust, and even like more recently with the Mexicans and the whole the natives, like all of these different things, they all has a blueprint. The same thing with the Polynesians back then, how they just did everything in their power to evict us from New Zealand.
Slandered us around our communities.
Yeah, they just put this whole image of us on paper and on the news about how we're lazy, how we're criminals, illegal overstayers. They had this statistic that I recall, how Polynesians only made up 30% of overstayers, while making up 90% of the Don Raids. Don Raids meaning were like they basically they came in midnight, dogs and batons, and they was beating families up and asking for passports in the middle of the night. And if you didn't have it, they threw you in a cop car. They were even doing things just to get people locked up to identify them. So they had this thing where cussing in public was an offense, and they lock you up. And the reason why they had like social gatherings and all these different bogus charges just to get you in the system to make sure that you were legal. And if you didn't have paperwork, then they just send you out. So it was a whole bunch of stuff. And that show touched on so many different things that I was not privy to. And after, man, bro, like my boy Poetic, one of the Usos rapper, big time rapper in New Zealand, he was telling me how like he had to go for a jog. He was taking shots. Like he was so fired up because he recalls that. And also his family recalls of being there. And just, all of that I didn't even know about. And a lot of us don't know about. That show is an easily watchable. It's an easy watch, but it's also really, it's something, bro. Something that we all gotta watch. Y'all gotta watch it. Y'all gotta put your family on it. If y'all need help, I don't know how to do it, but y'all can DM me and maybe I'll figure out. You know what I mean? But
find somebody.
Yeah, Yeah.
Already Googling. What is a VPN?
Yeah. I mean,
Google's the shit.
It is. And YouTube.
Like you said, a lot of these social catastrophes follow the same kind of lead up, where the people are kind of slandered and made to look, inhuman or less than, and then it kind of makes it okay to the rest of the population to kick them down, kick them out. And really something that we see where people trying to talk shit about Mexican people or just any immigrants coming from, South America or immigrating from any other place, Afghanistan now, where people are going to try to make them look bad. And that's going to generate feelings of hate. It's gonna lead to really unnecessary interactions, like ignorant interactions where you just look at everybody like they're a person. You can avoid that. So that's something that we have to be aware of and educate ourselves, and to read the signs, like you're saying, in the Panthers show and these other things that are happening, so that we can recognize them if they're happening present day, and we can stand up for those that, you know, don't have a voice and are being talked down on.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for that.
Hey man, well, Eli's not here, man, but I mean, he hit us up with something he wanted to ask you about, man. And I know he was a really big influence to you back home, man. He's a big influence to a lot of people back home. But Eli, just wanted to ask about your relationship with your Uncle Si, man, and you know what I mean, being back home, because he heard a lot of stories about how, I mean, where Si came from and where he ended up at, as far as him pushing love and light out to a lot of people, really inspiring a lot of people, not just back home, but, you know, he was really trying to do good. And I know when you were back home, man, I mean, he meant a lot to a lot of people back home. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I know you were real close to him. So I just wanted to know about that relationship you had with him.
Oh, man, you know, rest in peace. Si, that's my dad's, not his biological, I don't even think they cousins really, but, you know, that's my dad's brother. So growing up, you know, we was always in San Jose. My pops is from there. So that was family. He moved out to Samoa, and I didn't really know him too well growing, you know, like as a kid. But he was always back and forth. So I would see him. He came to my high school graduation. Then when I moved there, he knew I do music. He knew I did music. So I would always go out there to Nuuli and do music with him and Jace, my boy. So that's where we really got super tight. And I knew Si is like, you know, one of the uncles who was, you know, from that life. And it was in the studio where I kind of got a different perspective on him. Like I heard all the music, and of course he had positive music, but you know, you got that kind of image, and you know I know where he's from, and you know, as a kid seeing what they would do, and so I had one image of him. But being in Samoa, man, it was someone who was homesick. He reminded me a lot of my dad. And so when I was there, like he would always sit me and Jace down because it was real hard to get a hold of, me and Jace.
Yeah.
And we, you know, we was running all over. So whenever we would end up making it out there, he would always sit us down. He would always ask us how we doing. I was always chilling. I was young and just, you know, out and about. Jace was always in trouble. And so whenever he would hear about Jace, he would just spit game to Jace, but I mean also to me. And I just remember just always being in the house. You know, over there at his house, we had the fan and we had the old school fans. We had chilling in there, and it was just like it was just like gems just pouring out every time he talked to us, you know. And just hearing us and listening to us and giving us advice. Not really me, because, you know, I was just like, nah, man, you know, just having fun. But, you know, just being around and just hearing different stories and also listening to his music. And at the time, I was very playing with my music, like recording and hearing him, like how he does it, his thought process. He was in there like, here, I'm gonna sing these 2 bars, and you do these, and then Jace do these, and he was like switching things up. I remember one time he asked me if I could make an echo, and I was like, oh, I don't know how to do that. And he was like, don't worry, I got you. He went and recorded it. He was like, oh boy. He did that. And to me, as like somebody who was super new into music, like I never would have even thought of that.
To do it?
Like to do something, like to manually do it. And he was just like, why not? You know? And so like he opened my eyes to a lot of life lessons, a lot of music, because Sai was doing music. He was like, you know, S Factors, they was doing music way back. It was one of the first polys really to rap like that. In Northern Northern Cali. They was before Cali Cousins, actually. So they was really, you know, one of the one of the early ones. So I knew Shy's music growing up, and I knew it coming into Samoa. But I get to Samoa, we doing like, like we rapping over Bob Marley samples, and we rapping over island type stuff, and he's making his own beats that don't sound hardcore at all. And I was just like getting this whole different perspective. And like I said, just sitting in on him talking and just telling us about this and that. And I remember when I left Samoa, he came and he cried. Man, my nigga cried, and he was just like, telling me like, man, you got it. I'm old. He's like, man, I'm I do music because this is what I love to do, but you got it. And just even in the very ending of my stay in Samoa, he was still encouraging. So that was what Sai was. He was just like a well of knowledge to me. And I don't lie, I took some of it for granted. But when I look back, it's just like, yeah, that's what he was. Just a mentor in every aspect of the word. And I learned a lot.
Yeah. A lot of kids back home, like especially in the village in the Uli, man. I mean, when Sai first got there, Samoan kids, gangster. But I mean, he ended up mentoring a lot of like these younger kids that lived around his area. And he ended up feeding a lot of those kids. Honestly,
Hey, when I every time I went there, bro, it was different people. It was different people living there.
Yes,
in the back there. Like I remember too because they were cutting the grass, and I would be like, "Who's that?" He's like, "Oh man, the village, it's Fly's homie or this does homie. Like they just need a spot to stay or just helping out." And I was just like, "Damn, okay, that's cool." He had a little army back there.
Yeah. No, hey, he helped a lot of people, man. I mean, you think about home. I mean, it's not too hard to go and find family who you can live with, or I mean, you're never too far off of like here. If you don't have nobody, you're like you're like 2 steps from being homeless. You know what I mean? But out there, what I mean? Yeah, you have places to go. You have options. It's not as bad as you. But Sai was always quick to offer the help, man. He was never one to be like, nah, it's not my problem. They're not my problem. If they came to Sai for help, man, Sai was always willing to help. He never turned nobody away. He was always trying to teach the kids something better. And not too many people who didn't know Sai or lived around Sai knew that, man. And Sai was, like you said, Sai's an OG. If you saw Sai around in Samoa, you were thinking, man, I don't want to talk to that guy. You know what I mean? You looked at Sai, and then he starts talking to you, you're like, oh shit. He's
life
cool.
of the party. Life of the party.
Exactly. Like
rest in peace to Sai, man. Amen. And we appreciate that he was able to give you, that knowledge and that wisdom. And it's on you to keep his memory alive by continuing to spread that. So we're absolutely, we're sure that you're going to do that justice and to keep his memory alive and continue to spread positivity, love, and light out to our communities and to your people. So definitely, obviously a terrible situation, but you gotta you're figuring out what you're gonna do after and how you're gonna go through it. And we know you're gonna do a great job in that. We have to try to fit in some sports.
Hey, I'll be real with you, bro. I seen the Niner thing on there, and we're gonna say it like this. I'm gonna say it like this, bro. Ever since the whole Kaepernick situation, I'm a Niner fan, but like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like ever since then, like, I don't care how good Bosa is. You know what I mean? I feel like I know what kind of person that is. Anyways, but these days, bro, fantasy football is really just all. I seen your tweet too, and I was gonna respond, but I was waiting on my boys to tell me how much we was gonna put in for that. And I didn't want to be like, yeah, I could do it, and then I can't do it all the way. So I just remembered that I never got
Fantasy. I was like, oh, fantasy football.
Hey, yeah, no, but I do fantasy. I do fantasy. I got 2 that I've been in for like, I don't know, 7 years. And I lost last year in the semifinals by 0.8.
Wow.
Yeah, I lost by 1.2, and then I was waiting. Oh no, I lost by 0.8, and then I was like, okay, stat corrections. And then I looked back and I lost by 1.2.
Lost by
so
more.
he got 0.4 more. So, but yeah, like I'm a Niner fan. You know, I'm born and raised Niner fan, but like, you know, I can't really respect anything the front office has done, and I'm still pissed off at that. But like, it's just for bragging rights amongst family and friends. But I really pay more attention to my fantasy team. So, I picked up James.
If you get the number 1 pick in your draft, who you draft
about it?
CMC.
Christian McCaffrey gotta be.
Day. I had it last year, and he was
Derrick
horrible.
Henry? Over Derrick Henry?
Man, Derrick Henry
first overall
pony. He's a one-trick pony, man.
Mahomes?
Nah, I'm not taking no quarterbacks first.
So what is the draft strategy? Is it running back early? Is it quarterback until late?
Yeah, I don't do quarterbacks in the first 3, maybe first 4. But I think because our league was so small, we only had 6 people last year or 8 people last year. And I think this year we got 10 now, but we still run quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, tight end, 2 flex.
Nice.
So we have 2 flexes. So I picked James Robinson in like the 8th or 9th round or something like that. And people was tripping. And it was like, wait, what? James Robinson? But I'm like, bro, James Robinson was my moneymaker last year. He's a pass catcher, and he's solid on the run game. And hopefully now that they got a legit passing game, it opens up to run even more.
Well, and then Travis Etienne got hurt. He might not play the whole season, so
he got his job back. He wasn't going to take his spot for real.
I don't know, man.
He wasn't going to take his
dog.
They drafted him in the first round.
He wasn't going to do it.
They didn't draft him in the first round to sit. I can tell you that.
Hey,
they tried to start him at wide receiver.
Maybe.
And they started him at wide receiver during the rookie mini camp. They
slot,
all receiver things. They were like, we know you can be a running back. Just go see if you can play some
and then
slot.
He got hurt.
See, because he's soft. He ain't James Robinson. That's why. Hey, I drafted him before he got injured too. So I like James Robinson, bro. Like I'm a big believer in that dude. I like the way he played too.
Yeah, man. So, he was a workworkhorse. They worked it. He earned all his yards last year.
What was he? Hey, he was like top 10 running back.
Yeah,
maybe 5.
I mean, it was because of his in PPR leagues because he caught. He was good for 4 catches a game.
Yeah, he was number 1 for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So that's my guy. I think my first and second pick was Kittle and Diggs.
Ooh,
and I ended up getting I got who's it? Allen, the quarterback, Diggs quarterback.
Josh Allen.
Oh, Josh Allen.
Josh Allen, yeah.
Oh, damn.
Josh Allen too. So Josh Allen and Diggs, that's a good 35. That's a good 35, 40 points a game.
After your running back, man, is Julio Jones worth an early pick?
He's with the man. I feel like the Titans. I feel like Julio Jones being on the Titans just ups AJ. What's his name? AJ Brown and even
Hollywood
the other one. What's the other dude? Corey
Davis. I think Corey Davis left.
He signed with the Jets, I think, or the Giants. Somebody.
I liked him.
Somebody else.
Corey Davis was big.
He was never on the field, right? Though. Yeah.
He was
84.
He was big. He was a big target. So I think Julio being over there I think that just makes is it AJ Brown? I think that just makes him just better.
Right.
I'd take him over Julio because he'd be more available later on. Yeah.
So when you went Kittle and Diggs, who are your running backs for there?
I think I got Robinson somewhere over there. No, I lied. It was Saquon and Diggs because I had the last pick, so I got the last in the first.
Oh.
So I got Saquon, Diggs, and then I think I picked up Kittle and
nice.
I forgot who else. But my squad is it's like no main hitter people, but they all look like B plus. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
And if I can get a B plus from every player every week, I'm fine with that. You know, they're gonna have to do a lot to beat me. That's all I know. So yeah, I'm excited. That's really, bro. Ever since we started betting on fantasy, I don't even pay attention to like single games. I'll look at the Niners score. I'll look at the Niners score to make fun of people, but like, you know,
really looking at those stats and adding up the yards and adding 6 for each touchdown.
Yeah, it's every point, every pass. I'm like, oh yeah, PPR. Yeah, let me see what's popping. So yeah, that's really all the sports. But Trey Lance looks good though. He looked like Jimmy G gonna get sent out for a couple second rounders or something.
Maybe.
Forrest, what's going on? How soon would you start Trey Lance?
First game.
Yeah.
You drafted him. Jimmy G. I mean, I want to say give him a chance, but they gave him a chance last year. I know you had some people injured, but I mean, and like Seth said, man, there's a team willing to give you some really good either picks or a really good player for Jimmy G, because there are some I mean, you really want Bridgewater starting for your team? You know what I mean?
Ever.
If we get a legit wide receiver, like a legit wide receiver one, I mean, I like Ayuk and I like Debo, but like a legit, like just, you know, just aside from being young and fast.
Right.
If we get somebody legit, someone seasoned, like, send Jimmy out of here. We don't even need a speedster. We really just need an incredible route runner, because the way Trey Lance is scrambling around there, yeah, we don't need him to be down the field. We just need him to follow him, and he'll be good. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
Are you taking Trey Lance in fantasy? Late
Who,
round?
me?
Yeah.
Oh no, we already drafted. No, I'm not taking him. I picked up Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence.
Wow, nice.
I had Cousins, but then I picked because
Lawrence is definitely starting. They shipped Minshew to Philadelphia.
Yeah, Minshew was a bum. Did they pick him up first round? They picked up Bortles first round too, right? Right. Yeah, just like that.
Those
just
are
like that
not
running.
the names I want to hear. Minshew and Bortles, right?
Yeah, that guy.
Oh.
I had Cousins because I had Thielen. Thielen's my guy.
Oh yeah.
So my squad is looking pretty cool. You know.
Nice. Thielen would be pretty smart to pick. I mean, Jefferson had a really good season last year, so
they're
going to key in a lot on Jefferson this year, and might open up Thielen again.
If Thielen didn't get injured last year, he'd have been solid.
Yeah.
Was he injured last year, right?
Yeah, a little bit. He had missed a few games. I think it was his shoulder.
Thielen, I like, and also like the players that I pick and stuff. I watch them and I'm just like, yo, Thielen is nice. He's good at everything. He's not great at any one thing, but he's good. His hands is great.
Hands.
Oh
my
God.
In his routes.
Yeah.
He's good. He's dope. So I like him.
Yeah.
I have some lyrics here that I was hoping you could maybe
give some light to.
Yeah.
Working on my craft, history I learned from. Still ain't never drink, but occasionally burn one.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't never drank?
Nah, I never drank.
You don't want
to burn it?
I never drank and I never wanted to. I grew up, my house was the party house, so I see people drunk all the time, and it was never appealing. But I also do research, and like alcohol don't really do nothing for you, really. Weed, on the other hand, I don't smoke THC though. I can't be high like that. I be stuck. I be laughing a lot. I'm hella goofy as it is. So like, yeah, Lance, I be laughing like you. But yeah, I smoke CBD to like really calm my nerves and to get my little anxiety out.
That's dope.
And I do this tinctures now. But I tried smoking and I bought all this weed and I was smoking just like, because I was getting real nervous about certain things. And it was messing up my voice. And I couldn't rap. I couldn't hold my breath. so I cut it. I'm done. I can't smoke, but I'm gonna do like the gummies but only CBD though, because that's the stuff that's the real medicine, not no THC.
Yeah. They said they just released a report. I don't know if it was a pre-draft or if it hadn't been peer reviewed yet, but CBD can block the coronavirus, like like COVID-19. Like it helped people deflect and recover faster from. So shout out CBD. Keep doing that shit. Yeah. Also, being a security guard for the last couple of years in downtown Portland, also the same. Seeing drunk people do drunk shit, that shit is not appealing. I slowly just like don't even drink anymore. Like it's not something. I mean, I don't like. I'll go out with friends and stuff, and like we might go to a bar, but I'll just go outside and smoke.
Look at us sober guys.
I don't know about sober. I just a different way. All right. On No Breaks, you said 2020. Put my name down if you ain't got a vote. What's up? Politics? You have a government career coming up?
I mean, I seen The Rock saying something, and also it was also because like it was so like a lot of my family, they like divided. And there's a lot of people going one way and a lot of people going the other. Mm. And I'll never engage in that. Like, you won't catch me engaging in it. I feel how I feel and that's it. And then like at the end of the day, I'm not finna disagree with my family over something that some other people believe in. I'm not finna fight with my family when these people ain't finna fight for what they believe in. So I just put that in, but you never know.
What? We might not gonna see fight fully for Awasi.
Hey, you never know. Let's see what it's looking like. Lieutenant governor,
representative or a senator in the funnel. You know what I
mean? I'll be a lieutenant governor because I don't really want to be in the driver's seat, but I want to be in the passengers. You know what I mean? Like, I just want to be nosy. I just want to see what's like. I just want to see what's going on.
What you guys doing here?
Yeah. Where the place else gonna be at? They'll just pop up. But yeah.
When we talk about your authenticity and when you're creating music and taking a feeling and really amplifying it to something that you can feel like, how would you say that, do you take an idea and push it out once you hear the beat? It's just the idea of the song will come to you as you're hearing it, or do you already have some prepared that you've been wanting to say, and once you hear the beat, it unlocks it?
Whenever I get into the mood for writing, first of all, I had to be in the mood, And so if I'm in the mood, then I'll just look for a beat that encompasses what I'm feeling. And then once I find it, then I go from there. But if I can't find it, then it don't happen.
What was the mood for What's Up?
But which one is that?
We're gonna take this jump and see what's up.
Oh, that was the beat. That was all the beat. I heard that beat and I was just like, it was smooth, and it had to be smooth. I had to be smooth on it, and so I'll hear the beat and I'll just be like, yeah, that's it. And so songs like that, I mean, it's real and it's honest and it's truthful, but like those are kind of easier songs to put out. I know that people would love to listen to it. It'll sound cool and it'll be easy to listen to, but in terms of thought process, it don't really take too much to make those kind of songs, It's just like that song and the You Already Know, something like that. Mm. Like those songs, like I don't listen back to those certain songs just because it's a moment. It's more of a moment than like an actual, like I'm sitting there and feeling certain things. It's like I'm feeling the like excitement. It'll get you excited or it gets you like up and jumping, and it's more musical than it is thoughtful.
So, just what the feeling was, or if you're going back to a moment, what that feeling was.
Yeah, that's really all it is, as opposed to something like
smooth ass song.
Yeah, you know, yeah, it took a lot of practice from a lot of figments of my imagination, you know. So before it was like that, different now.
How important was 1992?
Oh man, that was I get confused with that one in nostalgia, but you talking about the new one, right? Because I have a couple songs called 1992. I was really proud of the year I was born. You talking about on Broken Record?
It's a good year.
Yeah.
Man, it was off the Broken Records.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's just life. That whole album is about life. Broken Record, I named it Broken Record because it meant a lot of things. Broken Record can mean something that's just over and over, the same thing over and over. Oh, he's a broken record. He's saying the same thing, doing the same thing. But in the same sense, you could look at it, and if you're an optimistic person, you could be like, oh, he broke a record. That record is broken. He's on to newer heights. He's on to better, bigger, and better. So that whole album was super internal, you know. And I listened to that album. It's super internal. Everything on there was really personal. It's either how I felt or what I wanted to feel. Because I had a couple songs in there that sounded really triumphant. I wasn't triumphant at the time, but I wanted to be.
That's
so yeah. So that very personal album.
Yeah, that's why I asked the song. I mean, a lot of the stuff in the song just sounded real personal, man. But I mean, you know, like all your stuff, it's great stuff, man.
But it's like a piece of you. It's when people are hearing it, it's like this is a part of your life. It's not just, you know, some bravado made up stuff. People are like, this is his life. Yeah. So it's like that we talk about all the time, representation, where if you don't see, you know, yourself or people like you doing something, you can't always see yourself doing it. It's not an option. It's not something that's, you know, a road for you, but continuing to be yourself and show that, you know, there are different avenues to express yourself happily and freely and, you know, in a healthy manner. Shout out you for representing. Thank you. The last track of Well Richer is called My Why. And you talk about, so the lyrics are, is this what I'm supposed to do? I just need some coaching or direction or maybe even signs so I know it's true. Then I hear the notification coming through and it's somebody new writing a paragraph and they're talking about how your music not only positively affects them, but gives them something to hold on to. What's it like when people are writing you those messages that your art is saving lives?
Man, it's crazy. It's a full circle. Because music for me was a lifeline. You know, growing up and just having all these thoughts and these feelings. You know, dealing with depression and not really knowing what it was, or thinking depression was just because you had a bad day, and not really being able to shake it. You know, and not having anybody coach me. Like, music was there. And I learned through other people's depression how to deal with it or how to even identify it. And so to be able to switch that, to reverse those roles and to be able to play that now to other kids who probably, you know, just raised like me, who family didn't really know. We didn't talk about it. We didn't know about it. So we didn't talk about it. It's a different kind of fulfilling. It's the purpose that you feel when things like that, for me, when things like that happen, it's just like, it's better than all the money in the world. You know, it's better than all the compliments. It's better than all the accolades or recognition. You know, like the recognition and everything is cool. It's dope. You know, it's a testament to my hard work. But messages like that, it's a testament to my story. And it's also a good way to yeah, like I'm being that lifeline for them, but it's their lifeline to me. I don't think a lot of people realize that. Just knowing you ain't alone is like, that's worth so much. So when I'm speaking on these things where I'm in my room writing on my own, And then people relate to me, people that I don't know, people I've never met, probably never will meet, telling me that they relate to it and show me that I'm not alone in these things. Once you find out that it ain't just you feel a lot better. And so every message like that, like as much as I feel like I helped them, I don't think they realize how much they've helped me in return. So, I mean, you can't put a price on that.
Yeah, man. Full circle. That's dope.
Yeah.
We appreciate you taking the time tonight to sit down with us and really give us the game that you've been giving us.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Anything for Lance and Forrest. Come on, man.
Oh,
Come on.
Oh, hey, man. I asked this to E-Rod and Lance earlier, and I've been asking a lot of people, man, just because I think it's a really cool, man. So, little quick fire question before you leave, man. You can invite 5 people to dinner, man. Past, present, future. Who'd you invite?
Oh, I mean, just so I can meet them, right? I'm not worried about like chemistry amongst the crowd.
Nah, conversation where you want to talk to these people. Yeah. Just to
oh, you got to worry about them.
Yeah, like yeah.
Nah.
Because
no conflict.
Anywhere Joe Budden go, I feel like it's gonna be an issue.
Just if you invite Rory, yeah.
Rory, you are fired.
But yeah, Budden is on there. I mean, come on, I got to sit with Michael Jackson. I got to sit with the GOAT. Damian Marley, Nas. What's that? That's 4 already?
That's 4.
Yeah.
Hold on. I think
you about to move somebody?
I think Damian Marley got to get out of there.
You got
because Robin Williams got to be there.
Okay. Ooh, nice.
And Amy Winehouse. Amy Winehouse got to be there.
That's a good. Oh wow, good dinner. What are you cooking?
Hold on, wait. Who do I have? I have Budden. I had Nas.
Budden, Jacko,
MJ.
Okay, yeah.
Amy Winehouse.
Yeah, right.
Amy, Robin, and Nas.
Who we kicking off there?
Hold on, I just had somebody in mind. I got bad memory. I have somebody.
We'll let you invite a +1. Go ahead.
I don't even remember who it was though. Oh, Dave Chappelle. My fault. Dave Chappelle.
Hey, you gotta have the comedian. You gotta have the comedian there.
Hey, Nas might have to bounce and Dave Chappelle could, but if I could have 6, then yeah, Dave was there.
6. We'll go with 6. What are you cooking?
Shoot. We all having Ulu and Wahoo for sure.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all we need. That's my favorite.
Nice.
I feel it. I'll substitute the Ulu for Kalu, but
what?
Yeah.
You know what? You know why? Because I had Kalu my whole life. I didn't have Ulu till I went to Samoa.
Oh, okay. I feel it.
I had Kalu my whole life. Man.
Let's do flowers. I'll start. Sefa.
Hey, also before you go, if my phone died, don't worry, I'm gonna rewatch this. So I'm gonna see the flowers because my phone might die.
Man, I appreciate your authenticity, man, and how real and honest you are, and how you don't portray things to be super perfect, but you are open and honest with your process, and how that's a healthy avenue of expression and a example to the youth or others like us, that we can use positive forms of art to express ourselves and to not wallow in like despair or negativity. In your everyday example of being who you are, 100% who you are, and embracing that truth, lets us also, mirror that and be ourselves. So thank you for what you do, and very much appreciate it.
Amen.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Amen. I'm probably gonna say the same thing Lance said, but in dumb people version. So, but man, just the person you are, man. and the person you allow me to be when I'm with you, man. So like we see the progress, man. You're not the same person you were back in Samoa, but you are the same person you were in Samoa. You know what I mean? And so that still allows me, every time we're around each other, it's like we're at the hotel room in Sadie's, you know, with everybody, you know what I mean? And that's, and I will not lie to you, that is the person I love to be, you know what I mean? And when I'm around Lance and it's not just people from back home, it's people that make me feel that way. And you are definitely one of those people, man. I mean, like you said, man, I mean, the way you're confident about yourself without having to show everybody, that it projects out and it lets everybody else be that. And the way you're so approachable for these younger kids, man, that speaks more about you than anything. There's not too many people that these kids can look up to and walk to. And I mean, it's not like you're the biggest star but you are to these kids, man, these Polynesian kids. When they hear you, hey, I was with you at the Poly Festival, man. People walking up and just, you know, people wanting to take pictures with you. People wanting to talk to you about your music and just thanking you about your music, telling you that's dope, man, that they can do that. You know, there are dudes out here who, you know what I mean, they'll just brush people off like, oh yeah, all right, cool. You know what I mean? But you always take the time to talk to these kids, man. You know what I mean? And just the person you are, man, dope. I mean, from Sadie's to filming your music video back of my truck to
oh my God,
to being in Hawaii and never being able to, you know what I mean? Never being able to really hang out in Hawaii to finally got to hang out here. Man, it's been a journey, man. There's people like you hang out with and they just feel like they've been your friend since you were like 2 years old. And that's what I feel like when I'm around you and everybody else, like Lance. So thank you, man. Yup.
Wait, do I get to give y'all flowers?
You get shout outs.
Yo, there you go.
Hold on. No, bro, I gave Lance flowers earlier about the hosting thing, but bro, you guys, for real, to be honest, bro, like when I was in Samoa, you guys were like the cool kids. Like straight up, bro. You guys are like the coolest kid, like especially like seeing y'all at I remember what was it, First Friday markets. Remember when y'all start doing flight night over there? And I remember just being like, dang, I wish I could kick it with them and just like hold the camera. Because you weren't shooting with Tulanga that night. You were shooting with another dude who was like his cameraman. And I was like, dang, you know, they're just filling in cameraman. I wonder if I could just hold the camera, you know, like just be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember. You had the little microphone that connected to the camcorder.
Yeah, it was like a long robot. Yeah.
I'm telling you, bro. I was very impressed. So like, yeah. Lance doing the podcast with Lance is like doing the podcast with like Walter Cronkite or somebody, you know.
Ooh, I like it.
That's how the cookie crumbles.
Yeah, you know, I was super excited to be a part of this. And you know, Forrest, man, come on. Talk about the guy with all the connections. We actually, what were we there for? Me and Alex, what were we there for? At your house.
I don't remember.
Still something was like we had to be in that area.
Oh, at the airport. Y'all had to be at the airport.
Oh, because
it was an early morning flight. Yeah.
Because my homie was coming from Japan.
Right. Oh,
damn.
Oh man, that's funny. But anyway, yeah. So I'll continue the story. Sefa had a friend from Japan. It might have been like an Air Force flight or something. It was a special flight, but they were getting in there like at some odd hour, like 3 or 4 in the morning. And I lived right by the airport and I had a car. So they were, you know what I mean? They didn't really know how to get it, and Sefa really wanted to go check it. At the time, I was really close friends with Alex Tupai. Shout out to Alex and Tiara. My gosh, I love those girls. But so anyway, Alex was like, yeah, you know what I mean? Me and Seth want to go to the airport. Is it cool? And but they came over, stayed over that night. I mean, at the time I was living by myself. It's like I had this ginormous house at the time. I was living by myself. My parents were out here living with my sisters at the time. And so, yeah, I mean, we just really stayed up all night, talking, laughing, just, you know what I mean? What you would expect with me and Seth in the same house. So, yeah, we got something to eat and we woke up at this odd hour so they could go see their friend at the airport. And that's man, those are kind of the stories that are just really what I miss about back home, man. I mean, of course, everybody's going to, people say, man, I don't really miss Samoa, I miss the people. Yeah, I miss all the people, that's for sure. But there's moments you can have back home that you can't have anywhere else. And I know people who are from other countries or like different states out here can say the same thing, but there's a uniqueness to living back home. You know, and you being out here, man, seeing you with like your security people, and not the Polynesians, like everybody else, like the girls that work at the club, you know, the DJs and all these the bartenders, the promoters, you know, you give that to them, man. They can see how genuine you are, and you get that from back home. And I know a lot of people, like Seth was about to tell that story, there's a lot of people who get that from Seth too, you know. And I think his greatest power, obviously, for me, is just the way he lets people be comfortable, at ease when they're around him.
Nice.
You know, like man, you should have seen it. Like I can't wait if they have maybe if they have another Polyfest earlier than last, like how they planned it this year around the same time. If not, we got to go to the next one, and hopefully we'll get Seth with us. But just seeing the people, man, like we'd be standing somewhere talking and someone would stop by and it'd be this like gymongous kid who probably played football in Washington, you know, with this big smile, like literally starstruck. You'd be like, yo, you're Sefa M, right? You're Sefa. Yeah. And then he'd be like, yeah, man, what's up? And he'd talk to them, and you know what I mean? They'd look nervous at first, and he'd talk to them about the music, and they were just, and then all of a sudden it looked like they were his homie, you know, and all his friends were around. It'd be always the bravest one to come talk, and then all of a sudden all his friends come over, want to shake his hand. And like he said, the girl from Twitter that he knew, Nancy from Twitter, she came up and she had her cousin ask Sefa if they could take a picture. You know, she just really want to take a picture. It's funny, man. And like, you know, there's not a lot of people who think of Sefa as that kind of a star, but you know Sefa and the music he puts out. But he's a star, man. He's a star.
And I can see why they're excited to see him, and after hearing his music, and they treat him like that, because he's definitely, his talent shines through the music. Listen to any of his albums, or even any of the mixtapes, Lucy, Pink Tape, Make Rappers Rap Again. The authenticity you feel, and it's a consistent message throughout like all his projects, so you know it's legit. But also because I feel like we didn't talk about some other stuff like cryptocurrency and like anime.
Gosh, yeah.
Anime.
That would have. It's another 2 hours.
That's what I'm saying. We should have him back. You know, when he's saying he's gonna do the push for the PMAs. We should definitely have him. Well, dope. He should do a PR tour with all the shows and stuff. Yeah, and we can definitely have him on then. But when we have Eri, then that's gonna be a bunch of those things like battle bars, anime.
Gonna be such a different show. You know, when Eri's back on, that just adds such another big element to the show when Eri's on, and especially because they can relate to the business sense of what they're both doing.
Yeah, it's gonna be really good to do that follow-up show with all of them. But I guess I'll close this one.
Yes, sir.
Big shout out to Sefa M for coming on the show today and giving us his experience and recapping his journey and his future. And yeah, thank you everybody for listening.
Yes, thank you, man. Thank you.
That is our episode for today. For Forrest Oldelau, I'm Lance Falatongo. This is VASA Sports. Today's show, as always, sponsored by VASAIslandApparel.com. For gear that represents the South Pacific Island languages and cultures accurately and responsibly. Put on for the culture. Catch the wave at VASAIslandApparel.com.